It's okay, right? You can go with either one. You can go the double, the single, the left, the right.
You could do the royal wave.
Right, the beauty queen. That's a good one.
This one, I gotta remember right hand.
Right? The bro, like that.
Over
There's
it.
a lot, right? Okay, so the gym bro wave. I only know this from Mike because he's in the gym a lot. All right, so not lately. He's building one in our garage. We have like a second little garage. He is like, every day we get giant weights coming. Hi, everybody. We are so glad that you guys are all here. Oh my gosh, we've got a ton of people here today already. Howdy. Guess who made it first today? It wasn't Carol. You may be shocked. It wasn't you. Devin! Devin Cutting made it first today. I'm so proud of you, Devin. Awesome job. Carol was second. That's awesome. Thanks, Carol. Yes. I know it's like your thing. So, all right. Here we go. Bonnie Phillips is here. Hi, Bonnie. We're so glad you made it. That was like a weird double, like off-kilter wave. We need a name for that. The tilt-a-whirl, right? Hi, Jordy. I am so glad to see you. Debbie's here. Hey, Debbie. Debbie says she's outlining today. She is all over it. What are you guys working on today? Let us know in the chat. We want to know what everybody's planning on working on today. Sarah's here. Hello, Sarah. Laurel's here. Hello, Laurel. Oh, my gosh, you guys. Steven, hey, we're so glad you made it today.
It's so nice to see Steven. Steven like took a hiatus for a little while, and I was like, wonder where Steven went, and then he came back, and I was like, yay! Things are good.
Michelle Schusterman is in the chat, which is interesting because we're very glad to see you. I thought you were going to be on today. Did I get an email from you and I didn't know? I sent you the thing last night. So if you want to be on the
join.
But she doesn't have the link.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I'm going to send it to you again in email. Give me a couple seconds to manage that. Okay, let me say hi to everybody. Laurel's here. Debbie says she's tired. Nihilist Geek is here. Hey.
Hey, Nihilist Geek.
DAL CECIL RUNO is here. Can I say something like really goofy? I'm not trying to promote my video, but I just want to say like, in my video that I did for last Saturday's word stock, which if you guys have not seen those videos, they are awesome. Anyway, for last Saturday's word stock, I have this line in there about aliens invading, and I have this like idea that I should put DAL in and in the little station. Like literally my favorite part of the video. Like, oh, don't watch the rest. Just watch it at the 9-minute mark. You can see DAL like in a little thing. Okay. Joanne Ninja Head is here. So glad to see you. Story Detective's here. All right.
On double duty.
Okay. Yeah, everybody's here. All right, you guys. So, all right. Okay, thank you. So DAL wants us to know, I always like to give her a little plug when we have when we're at the end of the stream. DAL does a live stream about an hour after ours, and so at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So you guys definitely want to check that out if you want to go ahead and keep on streaming. All right, so we've got a lot of people in today. This is kind of fun. Laurel has boring work to finish, and then the struggle continues to edit a new video. I feel your pain. All right, here we go. So everybody, what are you guys working on? Carol, what are you working on today?
I'm actually working on my final project because it's finals week right now. And so part of this project means that on the topic that I picked to discuss for the overall semester, I have to make an infographic on it. And my project was about AI and how it's used to automate processes within HR and how far those AI should be implemented and where there needs to be human intervention at. So
awesome.
Really boring stuff.
No, I'm just sitting here going, Carol's so smart, which is a feeling I have on a regular basis, right? Robert, what are you working on today?
I'm tossed between finishing a chapter in my manuscript or working on a script for a video, but I have both open here, so if I don't catch fire with one, I'll go to the other.
That's always a good plan. All right, Michelle, I just resent you. I felt so like proud of myself because I'm like, ooh, I got my thumbnail done and I sent the link out early. I sent Michelle an email last night, but it did not have the link in it. So it is in here, but look who she made it. Sorry. Link out early. I sent Michelle an email last night, but it did not have the link. Uh-oh, somebody's got, you have the window open. Look who she made it.
I'm here.
Hold on. Okay, Michelle, you still got your YouTube, your window of like the chat part open.
Yeah.
So you gotta mute that. Otherwise, you're doubled up. All right, is that good?
That's terrible.
Oh my gosh. All right, so Story Detective's got 2 projects he's working on. What are you working on today, Michelle?
I am revising a client's book, a ghostwriting client. That's due Monday, so yeah, that's it for today.
So you gotta really get rolling today. All right, that's good. So I will be, I think, working on my quarantine with story because right. I know. I think it's gonna be fun. And it just occurred to me just this very second that I did not put the link in. Carrow, send it to me again, and I'll put it in down below. So if you guys don't know about this, Carrow should tell you all about it. Carrow.
Oh well, okay, I'll give you the link next time because I have to update it with all the authors on it because I had to close submissions because like that came like real fast and I was like, oh, there's too many now. We have to.
Yeah. Well, right. We don't want to page.
Yeah. So the Quarantine With anthology is an anthology that I want to push to have come out next year, and it focuses on stories about being quarantined with, written in the genre that you want it to be written in. So it can be urban fantasy, it can be historical, it can be whatever. It's just got to be like you're stuck quarantined with somebody. So for example, I'm doing Quarantined with a Leprechaun because I just want to have fun with that. Someone is doing Quarantined with a Firefighter, and this whole thing kind of came into fruition because we were having a giggle about all the romance novels that we're quarantined with. So like there's like all kinds of Quarantined with romance novels out there right now. Quarantined with a Firefighter, Quarantined with a Lumberjack, Quarantined with the guy next door, like all that kind of stuff. And it was such a giggle fest. We were just like, we're just going to go ahead and do it. So I opened up for people to come in, and like I said, I had to close the door because I was like, holy shit, I've got 15 people. And that takes time to edit and to proofread and all that other stuff, but it's coming and it's going to be great. Like, because I read the synopsises that people gave me and they're like really good. And I was like, oh.
I didn't even send you a synopsis. I'm sorry. I just said
it was you. I knew it was going to be.
I didn't tell it before. You know I'm good for it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Nihilist Geek is spent most of the day outlining new novel following craft book and blogging for each chapter. Now for some writing. That's a cool idea. Very cool. Elizabeth Craig is here. Hello. We're so glad to see you today. Hannah Palmer is here. Yay, fun. All right. Bonnie is working on second draft edits. That is awesome. Doll's going to use the first sprint to do a workout. I need that. And then I don't know what I'll do. Well, you'll find something. You're always working, Doll. Jamie Barfield says hi. Hello. Oh, my gosh. All right, you guys. I am actually prepared today. You won't even believe it. I have the 5-minute timer up and ready to roll.
What's going on?
I know. It's like a Christmas miracle. All right. In June. So we are going to do our warm-up today with a 5-minute timer. And when we come back, we're going to talk about, well, first of all, I have a giveaway that I've done, and I said I was going to announce the winner on the live stream today, which I will. And secondly, last time we were here, we started talking about back matter. Is it a good idea? What should you put in it? You know, what can we do about it? And we didn't get very far into that conversation, and I know that you guys had a lot of thoughts. So be thinking about that. That's what we're going to talk about after the break. And for now, we will just get started with our 5-minute warm-up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's hit it. All right, everybody. Great job. Welcome back. Yay. Yay. All right, it's great. Carol, you're still muted. Okay. So Elizabeth Craig is here. I think I skipped that. Yay. Okay. Jamie Barfield says, hi, everybody. Maya says, I thought I was super late, but I only missed 8 minutes. Whew. That's okay. That's cool. We were waiting for you. We just did one little 5-minute. We knew you'd be in, so that's good. All right. Yay. I'm so glad. All right, you guys. Let's see. What did everybody do? Savvy's here. He didn't wake up for some reason. I'm going to go walk Chewy. I'll be in the chat because my body's exhausted. We're glad you made it, Savvy. And hello, Chewy. All right. Bonnie says, added a line and took 4 away. That's good. Editing. Nyla.
Me a lot.
He translated 166 words. That's awesome. Joanne Ninja Hen got 78. Nice work. Elizabeth Craig got 186. Good job. Good job. Debbie got some outlined. That is fantastic. Very nice. I basically like opened up another timer window. That was the extent of my productivity. And I said hi to the chat. So that was good. Robert, what'd you get done?
I started working on my video a little bit, and I got a couple of ideas. I made a quick little note on what I want to write about in the next sprint. So,
all right, that's good. That's good. Michelle, how'd you do?
Good. I think I got, it was like 2 pages revised, added a little bit. Yeah.
All right, that's good. Very good. Jamie Barfeld says, checked mail and fixed more coffee. That's good. Laurel finished feedback for 2 out of 4 students. That's good. Halfway done. 5 minutes down. Sarah's working on scene sequencing right now, hoping to get some actual writing done after this. I feel you. When I'm scene sequencing, I just move the Post-its around. I do, actually. And then, later on, it gets more complicated, right? So Sarah, do you use, speaking of that, do you use Scrivener? Because that makes it really easy to move that stuff around. Yeah? All right. Stephen, 69 words. That's fantastic. Good job. Good job. All right. Pretty cool, you guys. So, Carol, I didn't ask what you got accomplished. Happy?
I started making the infograph, and then I reread the directions for the assignment, and then I read the line that says you don't have to go overboard, and I was like, this man doesn't know who I am. Like,
it should be like a little asterisk with not for Carol.
I want to send the GIF. I think you guys know which GIF it is. It's from Rick and Morty, and it's from like the TV show, and it's where she turns around and slaps the guy's hands like, you don't know me. I just want to like send that to him.
That's you. That's definitely you. Oh, Sarah says she uses index cards first, then Scrivener when my cards get too messy from too much erasing and rewriting. That's fantastic. So I'm a Post-it person, although I used to use these fantastic index cards with a sticky note, like Post-it note sticky on the back of them, and those are my absolute favorite. They came in beautiful colors, and they stopped making them for a while. And then I mentioned it like a couple of months ago, and somebody in the chat, who I can't remember who it was it Bonnie? Somebody mentioned it. Somebody like heard me mention it and then Facebooked me to say, hey, they still exist and here is a link. And I'm so grateful. And now I need to go back to my Facebook and thank you again. I can't remember. I think it might have been Bonnie. So anyway, but if it was you, if I said the wrong name, then call me out because I certainly deserve that crap because you saved my life. So surely I should remember your name. Well, you've at least saved my book's life. So there's that. All right. So I did a giveaway the last couple of weeks, which I mean, usually like if I have a book launch or something, I'll do that, give away my own book. But I had this book that I got sent as an ARC that I really liked a lot called Beach Read. And if you read like contemporary women's fiction or romance, you have seen this thing everywhere. And I really loved it. Like I got totally sucked into the story. It was very light. It had some depth to it, but I really enjoyed it. And so I decided, like, after I enjoyed it so much, I was going to do a giveaway and give away that book. So I did, and now I'm going to announce the winner because I picked the winner at midnight last night. Yay! So without any further fanfare, our beach read winner is Jackie.
Ooh,
Congratulations, Jackie.
that's exciting.
I know, right? It's kind of fun. I hope she loves it. I totally loved it. I thought it was great. All right. That out of the way. Congratulations to Jackie. Thank you so much for entering. And for all of you who entered, because I definitely saw some familiar faces. And I had so much fun with it. I think I might do another one. So different book this time. All right. So last time we were going to talk about back matter. We started talking about it. We didn't talk about it very much. And I think it's a really good question about whether or not it's a good idea to do back matter. So before we start talking about back matter, we should probably explain what it is, because there are probably a couple folks in the chat who don't know what back matter is. If you are not familiar with this term, it basically means stuff in the back of the book, and it can be things like chapter excerpts. It can be a list of your other books. It can be all kinds of stuff. It can be a letter to your readers, begging for reviews. There are all sorts of things. Is Carol going to bring out an official definition?
Oh, no, I was going to show you guys an example, but
Okay.
usually he's really good about having back matter in these books.
Can it also be like fictional stuff, like stuff that's part of the story?
Yeah. Well,
I think I have an example.
oh, good. Okay. So sometimes back matter is something a little extra that adds to the story you just read. Like my friend Mia King sometimes includes recipes in her back matter because she had her feature cooking. And so I think that's kind of a cool way to do things. And then sometimes, we've all seen this where if the book is a series. Okay, here I'm going to make Carol the queen bee. Hold on.
Yeah, so sometimes they put back matter in the front of the book, which is a little confusing for me, but I understand why they do it. But it's basically like the list of the other works that the person has and what series it's in.
Yes.
So the reason I grabbed Stephen King is because in all his paperbacks, he's got like 3 pages basically dedicated to all the books that he's written under both of his pen names. So I'm like, so when I grabbed those ones, I was like, where is it?
I think that's a great idea, especially if your book is one in a series. Although I would definitely put it in the back, because when someone just finishes reading your book, they want to know like what else you did. All right, Michelle, I'm making you're the queen now. Ready? Are you ready for the example? Here you go.
Tell me if this actually counts, because this is part of the story. This is a middle grade novel I wrote that came out a few years ago, and it's about a girl who's on a Ghost Hunters TV show, like a paranormal investigation show. And so at the end of the book, I wrote an episode guide. So it's there we go.
That's
nice.
Yeah, like all of the episodes that the show has done up until then, and a description of the locations and the types of ghosts they hunted and stuff like that. Does that count?
That totally
counts.
Yeah.
And then I went and grabbed Children of Blood and Bone, because the way that she gets interest for the next book is that she actually talks about it, and she's got the cover in there too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really good way to do it as well.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Read this book.
It's really good. Oh my God, I love that book.
Children of Blood. It's a great title. Oh my gosh, it's a fantastic title.
I've seen it pop up in my recommendations from Amazon. So
yeah, that's a really great title. So the reason I want to talk about this, we'll go back to the chat in just a minute, and I want to know what you guys think about back matter. Whether you're in favor of it, whether or not you've used it successfully, whether you've ever seen it before. Because what I think is really interesting, I have like crazy hair, sorry. What I think is really interesting about, Michelle feels my pain, right? You have a lot of hair.
I'm constantly. And now that it's 1,000,000 degrees outside, it's like frizzing up all the time. So I'm like,
there's a reason my hair's always in a ponytail.
Yeah.
I very often have mine like up, but I did an interview like right before this, and so I had it down for that. And then I realized,
look at that hair, Carol. Oh
I don't have my ponytail holder, which is always on my wrist if it's not in my hair. So I have to run out on the break because otherwise I'll die. Yeah, so publishers go through this thing where they do a ton of back matter. They're always trying to promote the next book or other books. And then it'll sort of fall out of fashion and they won't do it anymore. And nobody ever has like a great explanation as to why. that happens. But
I think it depends on who's in charge of the project. Like, this is just my honest opinion, because I was actually having this discussion with Becca Smith, because Becca Smith has her own little publishing company, and we were talking about back matter, because I knew that we were going to talk about back matter. I was like, I should get more opinions besides mine, right? And we were talking about that, and we both agreed that it doesn't make sense to not include back matter, because when you find an author that you like and you find out that they have more books, what are you going to do? You're going to go read those other books.
Right.
Which is, again, why maybe the reason that they may not have, because one thing I noticed, because you saw me kind of quickly going through the other books, I noticed they didn't do it in the hardcovers, but in all the paperbacks, they have back matter in there, with the exception of Children of Blood and Bone. And I don't know, I really think that just depends on who's in charge of the project at the time. But I'm always like, you should always do it. You should tell people that you have work. You should self-advocate. And the really cool thing for people who are independently published is that they can go into their Kindle and they can update their back matter whenever they want.
Right.
Like,
right. Well, and you can do it with links, so they can literally finish your book and get the next one, which I think is genius. My gut feeling about back matter with hardcover books is that back matter used to be more associated with mass market paperbacks, like way back in the day. And I think that the reason, like now, sort of the back matter you'll see for traditional publishing for a hardcover, they'll say like other titles by such and such an author, but they don't usually go in with the chapter of the next book in the series or just the next book. But they'll do that more in like a trade paper or, mass.
Yeah, they don't do it in hardcovers. Yeah. And then Laurel asked a question, can back matter be for mailing lists, websites, and info as well? I usually put that in the about author section. That's what I encourage, because they're looking to know about you if they want to know about you. And so that's where you're going to put your social media handles and your mailing list and your website stuff in there.
Yeah. I think, one thing, I don't know, this is just like, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
One thing I wonder about is if publishers are more hesitant to include a teaser or anything like that, if the book is a series, is because they're being more hesitant as to how many books they want to buy or commit to. So they don't want to tease something that won't exist, because
they're not going to buy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I have a series. It's 2 books, and we put a teaser for book 2 and book 1, and then we put a teaser for book 3 and book 2, but then they never ended up buying book 3. So now when kids read it, they get to that teaser and they're like, where's book 3? And it doesn't exist. And maybe publishers are like trying to avoid that now because they're not committing like they used to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because not to get like too into like the faults of traditional publishers right now, but a lot of them are the entire industry is under major fire right now, between the thing that happened in the beginning of the year with the diversity discussion, and right now you've got the hashtag of publishing paid me going on.
Oh my God, that was
like the last 12 months for independent or for traditional publishing has been completely on fire, and not like, and it's not even like the gift where it's like everything's fine. It's like everything is effed up. Yeah. Like even editors are coming out and saying this is what they pay me. Like I had a discussion with an editor. They didn't work for the Big Five, but they did work for like one of the bigger ones. And they were telling me about the different kind of edits that they do. So for example, there's the quick pass, there's the medium, and then there's the fucking fix it, right? How sometimes there are like books where it's like, we have to get this out, so just make sure there's like no major typos and move on, which drives me nuts, because like I hate using him as an example, but Brandon Sanderson, his book's got freaking typos in it. Yeah. And part of what drives me crazy is that Brandon Sanderson's books can have typos on it. It's not his fault. It's his editor's fault. I hate saying that. But we have, we as indie authors, well, I'm hybrid, but if we have typos in our books, we get ripped to shreds.
Right. Yeah.
We're torn apart, like not even in a good way. Like
every traditionally published book has an error, at least one. Everyone.
Mm-hmm.
For all eternity. I've had the experience of, like, most of my experiences with editing have been like the normal, you go through the developmental edit and then the line edit and that, but my first book was crashed, which means that the publisher puts it out basically as fast as they could print it. And so Stop Getting Dumped came out 6 weeks after they bought the book. was on shelves.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
That's
with
fast.
Penguin.
Wow.
Like, this is not like some
How?
Penguin did this. I know. So
Wow.
yeah, it never happens that way. My editor at the time was Trina Keating, who was very smart. She's an agent now. She was the head of the imprint, and so she could do it. And she was brilliant. That was a big loss for them. But yeah, they crashed it. And I literally had the book on shelves before I had the contract. As you know, Michelle, it takes longer, right? It takes 2 or 3 months to get a publishing contract. Book was on the shelf in 6 weeks.
That is insane.
It is. I don't know
Yeah.
anybody else who has ever had that experience.
No.
People crash. People are like, what? What the hell are you talking about?
Wow.
So, anyway. All right. So Bonnie asked a good question. Can you use back matter to draw in readers to a second book in the sequence if you're writing a series? Yes. That is
Yes.
like, right? That's its job.
Yes.
It's like, you've already read this far and look what else you could get from the same author. Or if they're already sucked in. And I think if you're indie published or hybrid published, and especially if you're writing in a series, I would do different editions for Barnes & Noble and Amazon and Kobo or whatever else you're doing, so that you can have links back to their preferred retailer in your back matter, because it doesn't take that much time to do little tweaks
Make
for
different files. Yeah.
for at least the major retailers. So definitely. I haven't said, okay, Adega Outlaw. Hi, we're so glad you made it today. So if you're just catching up, we're talking about back matter in books, what to use it for. Is it a good idea? What's a bad use of back matter? Anybody have an idea on that?
Ooh.
Can you say that? I got distracted by Bonnie's question. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
What's a bad example of back matter?
Oh, I was just curious. Yeah, I was just curious. All right, so here we go. Hold on. We've got some other. Tina's here. Hello, Tina. All right. Joanne says, is there a recommended sequence like should you do thank yous in front or the back? Oh, are you talking about, usually you do your dedication to my mother who always loved me in the front, and your acknowledgments
In the
I'd
back.
like to thank my dog walker and the pizza man. I don't have a dog walker. The dog walker is Mike Brackett. You know what I mean. I like to thank the pizza guy and whoever. So yes, my mother, all the people who supported me, my agent, etc. Yeah, those are the acknowledgments. Generally speaking, those go in the back. And I think because you really want people to get sucked right into the story.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So you can do a little, no more than a paragraph in the front,
I know Jim Butcher does the whole first chapter of his next book, because he's got all that stuff right now. He's got it all written out. But the one good thing about when he does that is he puts subject to change depending on between now and when it comes out. So he always has that disclaimer in there. So if you guys want to put in the next chapter, just make sure that you have that disclaimer that the beginning may change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's such a great idea. BC Brown says, what's up, fellow writing weirdos? Hello, we're so glad you made it. Hey, Audra, we're so glad you're here. Dana's here. Wait, I missed this question.
That's
Bonnie
why I got
says,
distracted.
I don't know what he was referring to, but I think it's
No, because
hilarious.
remember when you said make a different version for each outlet
right.
that you publish it through?
Right. For my smutty readers, choose B. No, although I think it's funny because a lot of authors will release little shorts in their series in between. And sometimes for romance authors, sometimes it's just a sex scene, which I find hilarious, right?
And they sell really well.
Just to keep those readers engaged. I think that's kind of interesting. So Dana's here. Hello. Here, but there as well. Good. Nihilist Geek says, bad use of back matter is writing a divisive essay, and it's been done again and again.
Ooh.
That's interesting. You know what it makes me think of is John Grisham caught some flack for, oh my gosh. He wrote a book about, and I cannot remember the title of it, he wrote a book about a death row inmate. And he had, a death row inmate was a nonfiction, as I recall. And at the back, he wrote kind of an essay about how he felt about it, although it was very clear just in reading the book how he felt about it. but I really enjoyed it, and yet I think he took a lot of flack for that. I think there are some people that say, like they say with actors who have this platform and they want to speak out about something that they find important. And, you know, there are people who say like, oh, you know, just go back to doing movies. So,
Well,
yeah, I think
bad thing, but at the same time, there has to be some kind of relevance. If I really like the book, I'll go through the back matter about the author and their next books and all that. But like you said, having a dedication up front as opposed to all that other stuff, it bothers me when I have to weed through all that to get to the story.
yeah. No, I know. That's it. That's why they usually don't put much in the front. It's mostly in the back because you've already read it by then, and so you're already pretty engaged. You can do smack it right in the middle. Then you're like, I gotta like a cliffhanger. I'm kidding. That was a joke. Nobody knew. All right. Jamie says, acknowledgement. I would like to thank my dachshund Oscar for finally respecting my writing. And I love dachshunds because everybody does. They're awesome. They're just the cutest. My dog, Odin, has not learned to respect my writing. He will come in here and like my old dog, Zeus, may he rest in peace. He was really good about like not moving. You know, he would just hang out without really interrupting, unless it was like time to go pick up somebody like on a schedule. But yeah, he was good. Our dog Odin is not. He's still learning to be a good writer dog. He's getting better, but he's a good snuggler. So there's that. All right, you guys, we should get going on another word sprint. I think I have somehow given us a 35-minute timer, and that is way too long. Hold on a minute. Does anybody else have, while I'm doing tracking down the timer that I let run apparently without realizing it? Here we go. Anybody else have any thoughts in particular on back matter that we want to share?
It's essentially marketing. You're marketing what's next and who you are.
Yeah.
Always keep it updated. In your Kindle version for sure. Always keep it updated.
Definitely, definitely. All right, we have a little dachshund love here. Dahl says, I love them. JB says his cuteness allows him to get away with everything. Dahl says, I want to see more of Odin. That's my doggy. I love that doggo. Georgie's laughing like a commercial in your book when we're talking about doing it. Cliffhanger, ad, cliffhanger. Yeah. Okay. Kittens have not learned to respect. They're so adorable. They're so adorable. Well, this is interesting. So Laurel says, I often read the back matter, especially if I like the book, but if there's more than a couple of paragraphs, I drop down from reading to skimming. That's true. That's true. And Jamie says, is it Pyrenees? I don't know how to say this word. My Great Pyrenees will just lay on the floor by my feet. Is that what this thing is? This giant?
No. Great Pyrenees is a dog.
What is a Pyrenees? I don't even know what that is. Is it a
They
dog?
kind of look like labs. They look like labs, but their hair is slightly longer. They're really beautiful.
Oh, all right. That's adorable. That's really sweet. That's very sweet. That's how my old dog was. He would just hang. He just wanted to be next to me. And then if I'd printed out my manuscript, like proof it or whatever, he would like, do this where he's like laying on top of it. But other than that, he was a good writer dog. Hey, Alley Cat, we're glad you made it today. All right, Nihilist Geek has one last thought before we go to our sprint. Best use of back matter is next books in a series and a link to reader magnet for indies, in my humble opinion. I think you're exactly right on that. All right, here we go, everybody. We are going to do a 20-minute timer this time. All right, here we go. Yes. All right, so we're going to do a 20-minute sprint, and we will be back here to chat a little more when that is all over. Hold on. Now I can't make it go. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.